but how about this one, guys? Is Makhachev the lightweight GOAT? Back to Mike Bond.
Yes, I think
The
fact that he has. I know Dan Tom won't be pleased to hear this. I saw his rant on the previous episode, but come on, like, dude, it's 14 straight wins in the lightweight division, 15 overall in the UFC. He set himself apart from the lightweight title defense record. I mean, is this not the similar situation as what Stipe Miocic had at heavyweight, right? It was kind of a low bar in terms of the title defense record. It was just like 2 at heavyweight, and he broke that. Then everyone's saying, well, he got the record, he must be the GOAT. There was like 4 guys tied with it at 3 at lightweight. Makhachev got his 4. And I know people are going to sit here and say, oh, a couple of them were against former lightweights, short notice Dustin Poirier, short notice Moicano. You can poke a hole in literally everyone's resume when it comes to this type of stuff. There's always flaws. There's always unideal situations. So for me, like, what one of the people who held the record was Frankie Edgar. One of his title defenses was a draw against Gray Maynard, right? Like there's always the things out there that don't really make sense. So for him, he's going in there, you know, one of his defenses was against, at the time, Volkanovski was number 1 pound for pound. The rematch, I know short notice knocked him out, but yeah, to me, he is the guy right there at lightweight, and he's got that 4, man, and he's going to keep pushing it, in my opinion.
Danny, you agree? You got a smirk over there.
Yeah, 100%. I'm laughing at some of the things that are being said right now.
What are you guys, a tag team today or what?
Huh?
Are you guys a tag team today or what?
I even said it like pre-Moicano victory. I do think he's certainly the best lightweight ever, and in terms of greatness, I'll stand by this. And look, I'll catch you, Dan Tom smoke. I don't care. I think we embellish a little bit too much the career of BJ Penn for like these outside factors that we romanticize. Like, yeah, he was badass and the licking of the blood, and yeah, he went up to another weight class and he would fight anybody anywhere, and you know, whole Hawaiian thing, and he's cool as fuck. Like, certainly probably one of the coolest champions we've ever seen in the UFC. But in terms of like just stats, like greatness, like what Islam Makhachev is doing is amazing. Also, we can't forget the way BJ Penn closed out his career too. That's got to factor in as well. I don't picture Makhachev going down that path. So 4 title defenses in what's historically been the toughest weight class in the sport, beat the number 1 pound for pound guy, taking short notice fights on, you know, less than 48 hours notice to defend his title, making it look easy. I think this guy is the greatest we've ever seen at lightweight.
Over Khabib, though. Khabib's my major case, not Dan.
Khabib retired prematurely, and like,
but for me, it's Khabib.
You can say Khabib, like, I'm not saying he dodged anyone. I don't want to throw that out there, but like, there were styles of fighting that he did not face. There were styles of fighting that we still have questions about. Would he enter favorite against all those guys? Sure, but like, some things didn't happen. Like right now, Makhachev is fighting the number 1 guy back to back, and he's beating them all.
Wait,
sorry, Khabib retired.
The number 1 guy,
huh?
You said he's fighting the number 1 guys back to back.
No, I mean, Poirier at the time was the number 1 guy. Makhachev,
I think Poirier was right place, right time. Honestly,
he beat Charles Oliveira already.
Yeah, just got knocked out the year before at the BMF. Moicano steps in. I get that. Volk steps in because Oliveira couldn't go. I mean, even if the one loss, Khabib never lost, beat him. But 4 beat 3, I get that. But I think to distance himself, he needs like 1 more maybe, and then I'm with you guys. It's close, but I feel like it's right there for me. That's just my argument. I'm not saying you guys are wrong. It's subjective, but
so George, you have Khabib at number 1 then? That's
for lightweight GOAT.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I mean, like, dude, his defenses are obviously great. Like, look what he did. It's Conor, Dustin Poirier, and Gaethje and Poirier were obviously interim champions in those fights. So yeah, those were really quality wins. His resume is really strong as well. Definitely over, as you know, I mentioned the Frankie Edgar thing earlier. Danny mentioned BJ Penn, and then the only one out there too is Benson Henderson, who also had 3, but there was a lot of controversial decisions during Benson Henderson's era as the lightweight champion, both winning it and then defending it. So yeah, I mean, to me, Islam's the one who's going out there and winning it most definitively against the best guys right now. I know there is some crossover with Khabib in terms of opponents, but yeah, man, like the Volkanovski ones are really tough to beat, especially the first one when he was pound for pound number one. And
Great
the
fight.
Poirier one was quality too. So I don't know. I think his resume is just a little bit up there, and you got to take into account, like, we can't knock him on Moicano, man. Like, he was ready to fight Arman. He showed up. He was there, and Arman didn't show up. So how you take points away from Islam?
Yeah, no, it's close, guys. He's my number 2 right now. I think one more, and I'm with you guys. Goes, how about you?
I guess if they're a tag team, then we must be. You might as well tag me in, because I'm still on Khabib, but it's by a fingernail. Like, if tomorrow they announced Islam's fighting George and he beat George, that's all I need. Just a little bit more, and it's inevitable. But here's the thing, guys. It doesn't mean he would be the 55 GOAT forever, because one thing Khabib does have that holds a lot of power is the O. And if, as Danny said with BJ Penn, all the losses, if something similar were to happen, that might actually bring him back down, right? It's the O that's so powerful, but I don't see that happening. Islam Makhachev is just a beast. I feel like whoever they put in front of him next, he's probably going to buzzsaw through them too, and we won't be having this argument anymore on SBC.
Yeah, the O's a tough one, just because does anyone, I mean, who knows, but if Khabib kept fighting, you have to imagine it catches up with him eventually somewhere along the way. He only had 13 fights in the UFC. Islam is at 16 UFC fights right now, and it feels like, in a way, he's just kind of getting started with this reign. So, yeah, I know people want to hold that loss that Islam had against him, but, a lot of people thought Khabib lost to Gleason Tebow too. So there is some moments as well.